family.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I was talking to you, Siri. What I gotta start doing is getting myself dressed before I sit down and start messing with my notes and stuff. Hold on. All right, y'all. We here. I be up. I really do. I need to get dressed first. I be sitting there doing stuff. Then I look up, oh shoot, let me get dressed. All right, y'all. I don't know where I want to start at today. I got lost going through these Oahspe notes that he had in here. I'm printing out stuff, adding tabs, highlighting. I'm like, oh, should we not start the book of Apollo today? Should we go over these notes that's in here? Which I think we're going to go over some of them. And there's something, I found something that's missing. That it's all the way in the front. Hold on. Let me just pull all this stuff together. Hold on, y'all. I got stuff everywhere. Jamia Shalom says, he my grand rising. Tabitha, hey girl, hey. Dawn, blessings and light this beautiful Sunday morning. Yes, Kendra. I said Kendra. I got a Kendra. Kendrick, hey girl, hey. I responded to you this morning. Vinette, hey girl, hey. Elijah, Derry CM, shalom, Shebrew. All praises to the Creator. Hannah, shalom and blessings. All right, y'all. Oh, I'm pulling this together. I'm super excited about some of this stuff I'm finding through here. And I realized I should have been dressing downstairs about 5 minutes ago when I was looking for something about the children. That's what I came across. I was like, oh, shoot, we ain't seen this in here nowhere. So give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna have to teach Bella how to go through some of this stuff. So she can be my partner in crime, my secretary, help me funnel through some of this paperwork. Like, sis, I need you to look for this right here. Boom, boom, boom. Have her over there working. I'm read. Y'all hear her? She said, what? I can't read. We're working on that. It's some skills she got to get before we can get her and her research skills up. First, we got to learn how to read. She's learning how to read now. She can do a little bit. Okay, hold on. Okay. Happy Sunday, everybody. Oh, shoot. Forgot my phone. I got to bring Facebook on. See this. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Live. I just saw your text. Your hour, son. It's okay. Yeah, for this next pay period. I mean, but ask your dad, though. I'm sure we can advance it. What? I said, ask your dad. We can advance it. We about to go. Okay. Aaron made it in? He here? Yeah. Okay, cool. You good? You good? Okay, Jeremiah. He ain't good. That ain't Jeremiah. He look like he a little bit pissed about something. So he said he about to go to the gym this early in the morning. He pissed about something. All right, y'all. Nehemiah, shalom, shalom. You're welcome, Kendra. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. We got Facebook on. All right, everybody. That's here and hanging out in the background. Yes, baby. What's wrong? You what? Girl, what is... Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Yeah. What?
Yeah. And Savannah and her comments, there's going to be me, Ayana's wins, and Savannah's wins. I'm planning, I'm buying an apartment, guys, and the girl that have their job.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
People do it, but people think.
Yeah, people do it. That probably will not be a good idea.
We actually got rules. We already put the rules out. We ain't bringing nobody that's not us in here. We family, everybody's home.
Right, yeah, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Not like online.
Well, yeah. I know this. We really don't care about petty squabbles when it comes to it. We're there.
That's what it is in the beginning, till we get in the thick of things, and nobody's thinking. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, we do like to chill with the people. Like, I don't chill with her mans. Savannah only is one of her mans. Her mans don't got no friends. She don't chill with nobody. Same thing with Ayana's mans. When it comes to it, most of them have is an argument. And I'm really back and I'm doing my own thing. I'm just bringing money in to pay the rent.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Go ahead, go work it out at the gym. Okay. All right. Okay, y'all. Father, we thank you for attention to details. All right, beautiful people. It is Sunday. I know I did that first. It is Sunday, December the 18th, 2022, day 291 of year 4, reading through the books of the law and the prophets under the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1,310. Today, we might start the book of Apollo. I got it printed out from the John Lant plates, but I just kind of skimmed through it. I wasn't really I was paying attention to it, but I wasn't, because I got sidetracked and looking for something else in the notes. So we might get to that today if we finish up the notes in this little section in here. And then after that, we're going to hop over to the field guide to the spirit world and pick back up on page 193 where we left off at. All right, y'all. So Auntie Belinda Brown, shalom, shalom. Blissful Sunday. Selah, shalom, brother. Okay, y'all. So hold on. Where's my ones from? Okay, this is from yesterday. All right. So I found when you go through was it the index? I think I printed it twice. Okay. The list of, okay, this is the list of plates. You know, in index to Oahspe. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, the list of portraits, all the way at the beginning, right? In the list of portraits, there's something listed here in the John Lant plates that's not in here. And it's a group of Shalom children, right? It's after Joshua. List of portraits, Joshua being the last one, but after Joshua, here in the John Lant plates, and if you have the PDF version, it's on page 25 of the PDF, and it has a group of Shalom children, and then it looks like it begins to name them. It says a group of Shalom children, opposite page 18, and then it begins to name them. It has Ninya, Nin apostrophe YA dash, and then it looks like something's missing, right? But remember when I found the website that had all the Oahspe stuff that they put together? There's a pic. Matter of fact, I copied and pasted or downloaded and uploaded the picture of like the first set of children that they had in Oahspe colony. That John Lant, that little piece of land that they had purchased, right? And I'm not sure if Ninya was one of those children, but the children, they all had different names, but when they bought them there, they renamed them to some of the names that was in Oahspe, right? But there's something definitely missing here. Malachi, shalom, shalom, create a game. So I'm not sure yet where that piece is at. If it's mixed in through here, I don't see why it would be mixed in through here. I think it's just missing. Or maybe it was, I think if there was a page that was even too bad to be able to see, it would have probably been a blank page here with a number or something, but it's like completely missing. So maybe it looks like, and I'll show you. I'm not sure if he started it and didn't finish it. Right here, it's at the bottom of that page. If you have the PDF, it's on page 25 of the PDF, but at the top page, this is page 2, right? It's a bunch of different page numbers. It might get you a little confused. But on the PDF, when you're scrolling, it's page 25, all the way at the bottom. So it looks like the rest of that is missing, or maybe he didn't finish it, which I don't want to think that he didn't finish it. I'm sure he did. It's just missing from the list of portraits, right? So that was pretty interesting. And then when I saw that, I saw in the, was it here? Nope, I think it's still here. Yeah, in the index to Oahspe, and I didn't, this is at the beginning where it has of principal plates, where it start listing all the plates. Number 283, right? So if you go to the list of plates, there's definitely a lot of plates missing. And we know also with some I forget exactly where. I forget exactly where. Or they could have taken some of this stuff and removed it from the plate section and just put it in somewhere else. That is something I haven't figured out yet. But in here, there is a plate in here. What looks like, well, it's in the index. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, in the index, it says the consecrating of the children. And it's between, let me see which one I see in here. I see the tablet of Aries, Zarathustra. Hold on. Plates. I'm getting mixed up. That's the plates is the first part. Plates is the first part, then it goes into the index. So it will be found in the index. But I was even looking for this in the index. But anyway, it's 283. I highlighted it's 283. I guess it would be page 283. The consecrating of the children, origin, verse 10. So I was looking for that and I couldn't find it. It was really interesting. So I may have looked over it. But I wanted to I'm trying to find all the things about the children first. So that was interesting. But let's go to the this, and I know we read this in here. Okay, the notes from Oahspe, right? And in the PDF, it would be, no, it's not the plates. It's right after the deviant laws. In the PDF, the page number is 283. But it goes into detail. You know how in the book of Sci-Fi, there is the book of Anubis, right? So if you take let's try not to get this stuff mixed up. It's on in big blue. We'll just get the page number. Anubis, Old Egyptian, page 548. If you go in big blue to page 548. you will see Anubis, Old Egyptian, C plate 82, the haunted chamber, right? So this haunted chamber is different. It's completely different from what's in the John Lant plates, right? But some of these things here under Anubis, I want to say it's somewhere else in Oahspe because I read these words before, and this is what I really wanted y'all help with before we start reading the book of Apollo. If y'all can remember where this was located in Big Blue, it'll help me kind of make a connection somewhere else, right? Okay. So on page 283 of the PDF in the John Lant plates. Okay. Okay. And you might be able to even take Aaron with you to the gym. Y'all gonna work out together. It's a $5, so add him in for the day. Okay. So I'm walking. Okay. You're walking. Oh, you really must be upset about something. You're not driving your car? Who done pissed you off? Why are you walking? Okay. You gonna walk to her house first, then you gonna walk back. And then you gonna come get your car and go to the gym? You wait, you can walk all the way to the gym. By yourself? Okay. You got your phone? Yeah. All right. No, you didn't. You come first. Okay.
Also, I'm gonna need you to take me up to the
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Definitely something wrong with Jeremiah this morning. He said he gonna walk. He not gonna take his car. You know, I'm like on high alert with things happening, people with things going on, this whole thing with Twitch, all that, you know. So when he said he was walking, he said he walking to my sister's house. I don't know, my sister watching. Alicia, watch out for Jeremiah. He coming over there. He said he was coming over there. Okay, y'all. All right, so let me focus. I feel like he gonna be all right. He just sometimes he have his moments where, you know, frustrated and stuff. So that's what I think it is. I'm glad you took care of it. Okay. All right, y'all. So on, like I said, page 283, if you look at this, it says it's the Anubis, Old Egyptian, rites and ceremonies, the haunted chamber. So what's also missing here in Big Blue is rites and ceremonies, but it goes back and forth with Mars, Jupiter, the initiate, like going back and forth, the all, you know, they having this conversation like they being like it's a whole initiation type thing, right? But here, and this is and listen to this, some of y'all, probably those ones who've been studying Oahspe a little bit longer can pinpoint exactly where this is at. I know it's here somewhere, but I just can't remember where. So I'm gonna just read it from the top, right? Big Blue took out a couple things. Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's page 283 in the PDF, in the John Lant plates PDF. Jamia. Okay. All right. The Anubis' labor on earth was to win the disaffected of the king's peoples into associations and, as far as possible, bring them to the rights of faithism. Anubis sent tens of thousands angels into all the regions of the earth, By inspiration and otherwise, these angels established the rights of Anubis. So it seemed like Anubis, I want to say it's a, don't quote me, but the way this is reading, the Anubi is like a group of people like the Lewis or the Swift messengers. So there would be Anubis. Don't quote me, I could be wrong, but this is what it seemed like to me. The Anubis' labor on earth was to win the disaffected of the king's people into association and, as far as possible, bring them to the rights of faithism. Anubis sent tens of thousands of angels into all the regions of the earth. By inspiration and otherwise, these angels established the rights of Anubis. And here's where it starts right here. Anubis, old Egyptian, and it has rites and ceremonies, and then the haunted chamber. In main substance, the rites and ceremonies was in dark chambers, and the angels in heaven, clothed in sargis, took part therein. And the angels taught mortals by the voice the mysteries of spirit communication, how to sit in circles and crescents, taught the four dark corners, the four bright sides, taught them how to ascertain from what grade in the heaven the spirits came, how to keep off evil spirits, how to attract righteous spirits, how to develop in Suez and Sargis, the secrets of falling water, the application of lotions to the skin that would make poundings and wrappings. Now, something I noticed in here, I remember reading it somewhere when it's talking about the applications of lotion to the skin and poundings and wrappings. I remember that. I remember like teaching them how to sit in crescents and teaching them different things. That's Book of Wars. In the Book of Wars, okay, so before I finish reading, because that's not where it has it at. Book of War 317 is where it begins. It has its own, it's like a different order, some of the things here in the John Lant plates. 317. Okay. But there is a Book of Wars against Jehovah in the table of contents, and I'm interested as in what's there. Hold on. Wait, nope, it's the wrong paper. It's over here. Get all this stuff on the table, on the bar. Okay. First book. Ain't that far. Book of Divinity. First cosmogony and prophecy. Did I pass it? Book of Sapphire. Judgment. Inspiration. Jehovah's Kingdom on Earth. It could be real light when I'm not seeing it, but I'll come back. Thank you for that. Oahspe College University. Just glance real quick. Okay, so let me forget that for the time being. Let's look and find a chapter for that. Start on page 317. Second. Those are the duties of lorddom. Took out footnote in Lord's Report where it states that the Ehims aren't American or English Europeans. Okay. 320. Thank you, Jamia. Okay, boom. Right, okay. Great. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. This is interesting. The order this has this stuff in, right? And I keep thinking, why did they move it around? I guess the people, when they started doing their editing and stuff, they moved it around to where they thought it flowed the best. But I just keep thinking about what it says at the here in the beginning, right? A careful examination of the original manuscript by a patient and careful reader has proved the original to be uniform and without contradictory assertions from beginning to end. This is saying a good deal for a work so comprehensive as Oahspe. That's why we got to publish. Thank you. Look, Selah, let us know when you get ready to publish this. He said, that's why we got to publish this ish. Look, I'm telling you, look, hold on. We got to straighten it all out. Hold up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep this right here. Yeah, they stuck this all the way back here. And this is something completely different. Like I said, Anubis backhand sapphire. That's completely different. Okay, I'm going to finish reading this. Now I got where it is. Okay, let me put right here. So I'll forget this later, page 320. Thank y'all for your help. I knew I saw it somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna just read it from the John Lant plates. I'm not gonna go back and forth. Y'all just kind of, if y'all going back and forth, kind of note some differences, because I don't want to take up too much time, but I thought this was really important for something that I don't know, the way this is flowing. Okay. Yes, you can, Tootie. Anubis, old Egyptian, rites and ceremonies, the haunted chamber, and main substance. The rites and ceremonies was in dark chambers, and the angels in heaven, clothed in sargis, took part therein. And the angels taught mortals by the voice the mysteries of spirit communion, how to sit in circles and crescents, taught the four dark corners and the four bright circles and crescents. I'm sorry, I went back up. I gotta use my finger. Hold on. And the angels taught mortals by the voice the mysteries of spirit communion, how to sit in circles and crescents, taught the four dark corners and the four bright sides, taught them how to ascertain from what grade in heaven the spirits came, how to keep off evil spirits, how to attract righteous spirits, how to develop in Suis and Sargis the secrets of falling water, the application of lotions to the skin that would make poundings and wrappings. The second degree taught the people of the Great Spirit and his secret names, taught them his high holy heavens where all is rest and happiness forever. Whoever took the second degree had to live 1 year with the poorest of the poor, going about soliciting alms, reserving only the poorest of things for himself. And if he found a person naked, he must take off his clothes and give them to that person. Men and women alike serve the same conditions. That looks about the same. The third degree taught the dominions of God and the Lords and the place of their abiding and the irrespective labors in heaven. And the members must learn the names of the gods or lords and the deviant laws, the words of salutation, anthems, prayers, praise, the position of utterance, oratory, the orders of marching, to write sacred names, the secret of begetting pure offspring, and the key to the two preceding degrees. That looks about the same. The fourth degree taught the arrangement of heavens, the places of the sun, stars, and moon, the places and grades of the unseen worlds, the localities of the lower and higher heavens, places and dominions of false lords and false gods, the places in Hada and of hells and knots, of familiar spirits, and also of fetals, both harmless and destructive vampires that live on mortals and in swine and cattle, that induce mortals to eat flesh for food for that purpose. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, I uncharged it.
You what?
I uncharged this.
Okay. Let me go back. Let me read the whole thing over. The fourth degree taught the arrangement of the heavens, the place of the sun, stars, and moon, the places and grades of the unseen worlds, the localities of the lower and higher heavens, places and dominions of false lords and false gods. Boy, that's what you said. Leave this alone. Don't be plugging my stuff in. Don't make it up to this, little boy. That's what he said. He was gonna mop the floor, plugged in my little Swiffer jank. Get out of here. Okay. I miss. Okay. Yes. I can't look. I'm doing something. Okay. The fourth degree taught the arrangement of the heavens, the places of the sun, stars, and moon, the places and grades of the unseen worlds, the localities of the lower and higher heavens, places and dominions of false lords and false gods, the places in Hada and of hells and knots, of familiar spirits and also of fetals, both the harmless and destructive vampires that live on mortals, and in swine and cattle that induce mortals to eat flesh food for that purpose. I think that's in it. So I remember seeing that induce mortals to eat flesh food for that purpose. The key to the place of the North Star, the position of the Earth's vortex, the vortices that move the corporal worlds and hold them in place, and the rules for building temples and pyramids with their spirit chambers. The fifth degree, which reacheth the secret of life in the flesh, the power of will and how to use it far and near. The power of will and how to use it far and near. The fifth degree, which reacheth the secret of life in the flesh, the power of will and how to use it far and near, how to rule over others without their knowing it. Oh, boom, look. Remember, I'm gonna come back here. Remember, Jamil was kind of talking about this a little bit with that reference I gave you. Remember how I told y'all when I came across the magic book, some of the things that was in there, and I wasn't reading them to learn how to practice magic, but to get the principles so I could recognize them to make sure ain't nobody using magic against me. And if somebody needs help with getting set free from some type of bondage or whatever, you're able to recognize it. Like if you're taught about it, you can see it, right? Even if nobody else can see it. But if you taught about like the symptoms and different things, like even when doctors nurses try to diagnose people, they got different symptoms that lead them to believe that this could possibly be this. That's one of the things that I learned about by going through some of those magic books by Damon Brand, right? Listen, this is what this is talking about. Now, when I realized what I was supposed to have been doing with the magic books, because when I started talking about it, I lost a few people. Whereas, see, I knew she was a witch. She dabbled in some of everything. No, that wasn't the purpose of it. And I realized, depending on how spiritual you are, how sensitive your spirit is, some of those things you don't even have to speak out of your mouth. Like if you're already resonating high, your vibration is high, some things you can literally think and it happens. And that's something me and my sister began to notice about a particular thing in there, right? And she said, girl, I didn't even say it out my mouth. I was like, oh snap, it happened to you too. Let me tell you exactly what was happening. I'm like, this is wild. It's wild, right? So but in there I mentioned Damon Brand. Right now I'm gonna tell y'all again, just in case y'all go look him up, because I know some of y'all are. Listen, I mentioned him, and if somebody asks me, if I know somebody gonna go looking into magic anyway, I'm gonna give you a good recommendation that I know of to be good and unbiased. I would say Damon Brand is that, because he teaches you about it. He teaches you about some of those, you call it magic, some of those things that can happen with people who understand some laws and principles, or spiritual laws and principles. He teaches you about it, but he also teaches you that it could be used for good and evil. Now, these are simply tools, and he's letting you know what's there, and it's neither good nor evil. It really comes down to the person who's using those tools, right? I could take a drill and I can build something beautiful, or I could take a drill and put it to your head and screw your brains out your skull, right? That's a little vicious, right? But that's what happens when people who are resonating on a lower frequency, a lower vibration, who they just walk in darkness. that's what begins to happen. That's the outcomes they get when they get a hold of certain tools like that. But those who vibrate high, you can actually use those tools. You can recognize them. You can help set people free. Like you're actually able to use it in a more positive light, so to speak, right? Hold on. I missed something. What y'all talking about being invisible and stuff? Oh, power of will. Oh, that's good. Power of will is how the angels materialize. That's good. Hold on. What? You get share that book. Hold on. Share the book. Share the book. You got a link? I'll go ahead and give you a wrench right now. Selah. Go ahead. If you got a link or something, because only people with wrenches can like share links or whatever. You find it on Amazon, just to make sure we get the right thing. Go ahead and put it up in here. People that I know got good resources, drop it in there. We need all the help we can get. Okay. Yeah, he said, let me read his comment. Selah said, I got a book where it shows how to be invisible. I never tried it, but got the rules to it. Yeah, I want to see that. I have one. It's I think I showed it to y'all, but it's a yogi who goes into a lot of the deep meditation and stuff. And I found some of this stuff to be true, especially if you begin to meditate like out in nature or like with water. I mean, it's wild, some of the things. And I tapped into it a little bit. Then I got scared. I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know. I just kind of practiced what I saw without really. I just kind of jumped ahead of myself. But when I felt my legs disappearing, I'm like, oh shoot. And that's a little bit of exaggeration, but that's what it felt like to me. And I shucks, I probably told this story about last year. I was meditating in the tub. I think, matter of fact, me and Jen was talking back and forth. I was meditating. I decided I would try it while I was sitting in the bathtub, right? And you probably, if you go Google some stories or YouTube, some people will share little stories about people meditating in water. And you got some unorthodox stuff in there. And a couple people then tried that and drowned, right? And I'm like, y'all really got to walk through the manual steps before you start doing some of these like higher teachings, because people get themselves in trouble. And I decided to try it while I tried it a couple different ways, and it worked both ways. I tried it once while praying in tongues and sitting in water. And then I tried it while chanting, sitting in water. But I got the same results. And it's probably not whether because I was either praying in tongues or chanting. I think because I'm already vibrating on a higher frequency, that I'm already kind of like close to that. But I didn't finish reading about it. And I'm just like, if I disappear, ain't nobody gonna be able to find me in the house. And I don't know how to bring myself back. But it's some real life stuff that's in there. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend just jumping in doing some of this stuff, because if you don't really understand what's happening, what it's used for, how you can use it in your growth, you're gonna get yourself into some trouble. Yes.
Mom, I can get an ice cream sandwich.
No. Oh, wait, listen. If Dad let you have ice cream sandwich, you can have one. Go ask Dad. And you go ask Pop too. But it is wild. So, when people who try this without taking like the manual road and just really getting in there, being a diligent student and learning about this, they want to hop, just man, forget all that. Give me the good stuff. It's them people that get in trouble. And then they making videos on YouTube. Oh my God, this of the devil, new age, and the demon attacked me. No, bro, you weren't resonating high enough to be allowed on that level, right? But those who are allowed, they'll let you in, right? Then you're going to find out you're going to be running out there like one of them 7 sons of Sceva naked, because you were not authorized to be at this level, right? And so they tap into a level that they're not ready to be at, right? And then they get in trouble. Some people lose their mind. It's just like, you don't really want to play with this stuff. But what I've noticed is that if you do the progression through life, not skipping steps, not taking shortcuts, meditating or spending time in devotion, whatever you want to call it, these things develop in you naturally. And things are just like open to you, to where I get different results from doing certain things, and other people's like, oh my gosh, I did that, and I began to be attacked. I'm like, what? Well, why? Because they just skip steps. It's just give me all the good stuff. I don't want to learn all that. But learning all this stuff, it teaches you how to recognize when things are out of place, and you're able to backtrack. It's like doing science experiments, right? Going through chemistry, writing down the different steps through lab, and the teacher can come over there. You skipped a step, didn't you? Right? No, because I can tell, because you got this outcome, I can tell you exactly what happened. We got to be like that teacher that's able to pinpoint these things. We missed a step. Let's go back, right? So this spiritual, we still have our ashars, and our unseen help that's helping us is leading us and guiding us by inspiration how to develop. But sometimes it's like, man, just like show yourself and just like teach us. But we're the age now spiritually where we should be able to just get in there and study and be able to pull some of these spiritual principles out to help us in our growth, right? It's almost like test time for us, right? Maybe not test, but maybe quiz, right? All right, put these pieces together. They sitting back and they watching. Let's see what they do, right? And then test stop. Let's start it over. You got to do it again. You missed something. Pay attention this time, right? So that's why I recommend Damon Brand, right? Because I love the way he explains this. And if you get any of his books, do not skip the introduction and the preface, because he explains like the same thing with every book you get. He will do that same explanation on how to do this and not to skip steps with things. And he lets you know that that these could be used for either good or evil, and he doesn't necessarily recommend that you use it to get over on people, but just know if you do, there are going to be consequences and laws that act on the different laws you choose to act on, right? There's an equal and opposite reaction to every choice you make, even in the spiritual realm with magical, whatever you want to call it, right? So, but practicing that, sitting in water, I stopped because I literally, although I could still see my legs, I felt my body, and it started from my feet and it began to work its way up. I got it to probably just about mid-thigh, and I was like, Pam, I'm stopping, because I don't know what to do if my whole body like this. I felt like I was going to float away because I felt and it was weird. I felt, I bent over and I touched my leg. It was amazing. I touched my legs. I'm like, I can still feel them, but I couldn't feel my hand. They weren't asleep, but it was like, I don't know. It's just, although I could feel it with my hands, when my hand touched my leg, my legs couldn't feel it. Like the feeling was removed, right? Yes, baby. Okay, don't spill it. But it was starting from my feet going up, and I stopped, and then the feeling came back, and I'm like, what in the crap? And I splashed the water. I'm like, yo, it's something to this. And then I paused while I'm sitting here thinking about what could this possibly be, like running through my mind. So I did it again, started meditating. I started doing the chanting again, and it started happening again, coming from my feet, raising all the way up. But I had to be careful, because one time during that process, I got and it wasn't that long, because I was listening to like a chanting music as well, right? Just to kind of keep the flow without breaking the stride. And I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep, but I didn't fall asleep. But it just took me to that. It was like a deeper state of meditation where time like didn't exist. And the whole period of 11 minutes had elapsed. And I'm like, and it seemed like I had just closed my eyes. I'm like, what in the world? And about this time I could feel that it was kind of up close up above my navel, where it felt like my body was like disappearing, and I got scared. I wanted to go all the way through, but I just chickened out, because I don't know what's gonna happen when it go up here. I just didn't know. I didn't know if I was gonna be demon possessed or what. I was like, all right, I better stop until I really figure out what's happening here. But it's a lot of stuff that happens spiritually, like if you understand the steps of different things that you can take advantage of and like grow spiritually, not take advantage like do something nefarious, but literally it helps you grow in leaps and bounds in your understanding and your insight. And you can just test things, right? This whole earth and our body is a lab, right? It's the lab for our spirit, and our body is our test subject for our spirit to operate in this realm. Because while we're here, we have to learn about corporality, right? Before we're actually born and we're fully spirit. This is the only time we get to do this and test these things. Selah said, hold on. Wait a minute, I must have missed something. Word told him how. Hold on. told the jaws off them boys. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta go back up. I think it's more like a cloak than you actually being invisible. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what was happening. I don't know. Because I see that in some movies that have like witchcraft and magic in it, where they have like this invisible cloak. But what was crazy was I felt invisible, like I didn't feel any touch, but I could still see. I don't know, maybe it's a part of it. And once it goes all the way through your body, then you just actually go invisible. I don't know. Don't try it though, because I ain't got to the end of it. I got too scared and I just stopped. I plan on going back to seeing the end of it, but I got to finish reading through the book first. I just put it all away. I'm like, yep, nope, got too many small kids in the house, too many things I'm responsible for. If I disappear myself, I don't know what to do. Make myself invisible. Okay. Hold on. The angel more likely rise the vibrational frequency around you outside of visible light. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still like learning all this stuff. An Israelite sister said her husband's spirit got captured in spirit and another spirit obsessed his body. He came to her in a dream to make her aware. See, that's that crap I'm talking about right there. Because I was like, maybe, yeah, I don't want to be led astray. That's what I'm scared of. Not that I feel like some demonic entity is going to entrap me, but I'm still too young to recognize some things. And if I'm like not sure, I'm just nope, I'm stopping it. We close this up. We ain't gonna tell nobody about that one. I don't want nobody getting themselves in trouble because of something that I didn't recommend it. But with Damon Brand, I think he's good because I think he's a really good teacher on how he explains things, because they did a lot of tests and they actually called their group of people and some of the magical spiritual tests that they did, they call it the Gallery of Magic. And they share some of the things that worked, different results that they got from other things. I thought it was a really good it's a really good insight into spiritual things that I think all spiritual people should be made aware of, especially if somebody flip out and they go crazy and you can't figure out why. It probably has some it's probably something spiritual that happened, right? And it's going to take somebody who understands this that's going to help them get free. So okay. And Selah said, lay on your back on the grass on a full moon and look at the moon without breaking concentration for an hour straight and see what happened. What happened to you before I tried it? Before I go out here and try it? I mean, you look like you fine. You teach your videos, okay, but what's going to happen? You need to tell me, you need to share with me what your experience was before I go out there and do that. Or I need to hear about somebody else that did it. The full moon plays as an anchor to concentrate on, to have an out of body experience. Oh, okay. But still share with me what happened with you when you had your out of body experience. Cause my husband, because I need to let my husband know what I'm about to do. Because y'all hear him be talking about, he said, when you go into your other world meditating and stuff, right? But when I share some different things about the meditation and how we can meditate together, he was like, babe, come on, let's go meditate. All right, let me get back to this. Where we at? Oh, shoot, we at 48 minutes. Okay, look, hold on. Look, I got off on that reading this fifth degree. Hold on. It was as if I was freely floating in the air, really. Okay. Record yourself doing it and post a video. Well, let me get back to this. Okay, y'all. Back here, the fifth degree, which reached the secret of life in the flesh, the power of will and how to use it far and near, how to rule over others without their knowing it, to cast spells, to enter the prophetic state, to estimate numbers without counting, to find proportions and distances without measuring. Mathematics was at that time taught in colleges as a branch of prophecy. That's interesting. Hold on. That's not in here. Hold on. Yeah, that's not in Big Blue. This right here, that's something that was taken out. I know I hadn't read that. You said it's like when Thothma told Osiris he can go in spirit, but controlling the spirit is the next course. Oh, right, yeah. I remember that. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yo, and but that's some of the, you know what, in Damon Brand's books. Okay, so he got books. If you want to read some of the ways that they do it, he some of the darker books, right? And I didn't even read all the way through it because I felt like I didn't know if I was gonna read like a curse into my spirit, and I'm still trying to get some of this religiosity out of me, right? But I'm scared cat with some things. I just didn't want to cross the line without understanding what was about to happen. But in some of the dark, let me show you real quick. Hold on. Okay. So these he has a couple more, but I was interested because if you come out to church, you hear a lot about demonic warfare and stuff like that, right? So these two kind of caught my eyes, and plus reading about King Solomon and his demons and stuff that he was controlling, right? So the demons of magic, right? The 3 practical rituals for working with the 72 demons, and it talks about King Solomon in here, right? And you can find a lot of books on King Solomon and find out the different demons he was working with, right? Shucks, I think that's even alluded to in the Apocrypha. But I even have that's on my other book, and also this one, Magical Attack. Now he tells you this is some of the darker magic or darker spiritual principles that they can be classified as darker if you take them to use them against people. And we know as faithists, those who are in line of light with the Creator, we don't do that. We're not doing anything to hurt our brothers and sisters. We only want to do things that are going to raise them up. But I thought it was good to know and understand, just to make sure I ain't under any kind of spiritual attack, or if one of my loved ones is, I can recognize it and I can learn how to reverse it, so to speak, right? But in here, he has different ones where people use where they can actually go in and infiltrate the spirits of others. They literally, like y'all we talked about before, that movie Behind Her Eyes. They showed a little portion in there where he taught the girl, the dude that was in the crazy house. He became real good friends with the girl, and she was not aware of what was happening. But anyway, he taught her how to astral project, and then taught her how to astral project where they switch bodies, and now he's in her body and she's in his body. Like, y'all, this is a real thing. Like, they showing this and you think it's movie entertainment, but these things can really be done. But it tells you, but he did it to her, and she taught him. She taught, oh, okay, I got it mixed up. Thank you. Sis, you here? Did your mom come to your house yet? Is he there? Let me just ask you that. Did he make it to your house? I'm gonna wait for your answer. He did, Malachi. Solomon used demons to build a temple in Jerusalem. Did your mom come to your house? Because something was wrong with him this morning. Alicia, yeah. He was here. He left by himself. Did Aaron leave with him? I'm waiting for your answer. Trying to figure it out. Because he left walking. He didn't drive. He said he was going to walk to the gym. I mean, it ain't that far, but I wouldn't walk to the Y from here. But yeah, this teaches you about that, and it's really easy to understand. Like I said, I'm not sharing this with y'all for y'all to go in here and get yourselves in any kind of trouble, but I think it's a really good a really good education on some spiritual things that is talked about a lot in Oahspe. It's just people out there who are not religious. They actually got the I guess you say the courage to actually go test out some of these things without even hearing about Oahspe. And that's what makes it more, I guess you can say, believable to me. It just like adds confirmation about different things. Because Oahspe talks about it, and here you have people that's already practicing this or telling you what they found or what they've stumbled upon, right? So it's like different things are confirming different things that we're coming across, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't go try none of that. Like, because you can literally you literally can like destroy families and people and literally have them lose their mind with some of that stuff that they share with you. So just be mindful of that for you recommend that to anybody who's not stable, right? But for teaching purposes and education, I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there, right? He's a good teacher, but he's, like I said, he's not biased at all. And he'll let you know that if you use this wrong, there are different laws that they found out that come back and smack you on the butt, or you get yourself in trouble, right? Okay, so go back to this. Here in the fifth degree, what's in here in the John Lant plates is talking about mathematics. And it says mathematics was at that time taught in colleges as a branch of prophecy. And that's, distances without measuring. Between right where it is, that whole sentence is removed from here. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. The fifth degree, which reached the secret of life in the flesh, the power of will and how to use it far and near, how to rule over others without their knowing it, to cast spells, to enter the prophetic state, to estimate numbers without counting, to find proportions and distances without measuring. Mathematics was at that time taught in colleges as a branch of prophecy, to forecast the time of things, to find the weight of things without weighing, to find the power of the capstan before it is made, and of the lever and screw, to find the friction of things before they were moved, in order to know the power required. The fifth degree was called the degree of prophecy, and place of initiation was called college of prophecy. In this degree, the angels came in Sargis and taught these things orally, and mortals initiated thus learned them. No one could take the fifth degree without having become proficient in all four preceding degrees, and without recommendation of rabbah or priest who had charge of the college. And such was the wisdom of God that only faithists receiving the degrees, save the first degree, the only faithists receive. Hold on. Receive, give. Receive, give. Okay, so say only. Okay, so it has receive, give, right? So faith is, let me read it. And such was the wisdom of God that only faith is receive, give the degrees, save the first degree. So meaning those who are at that level could not only receive, but they could also give. That's what it looked like, because it says receive and give is really close together. Receive, give, right? And such was the wisdom of God that only faith is receive, give the degrees, save the first degree, and therefore the greatest knowledge of the earth was kept in secret with the faithists. So I guess everybody could kind of attain to the first degree, but the second through the fifth, only the faithists knew and understood that, and they could give it, right? So, which is why it was kept among the faithists, because if you didn't get past the first degree, you would have no understanding or no intelligence of the next four that were coming. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. And such was the wisdom of God that only faithists receive, give the degrees, save the first degree, and therefore the greatest knowledge of the earth was kept in secret with the faithists. and the king's people, save the richest and most powerful, were beholden to the sons and daughters of the faithless to build a palace or temple, aqueduct, or can what? Okay, the sentence is overlapping. Or can something? Let's see what it say. Aqueduct or rate of or any. Oh, okay. Canal. Okay. Okay. And the king's people, even the richest and most powerful, were beholden to the sons and daughters of the faithless to build a palace or temple, aqueduct or canal, or a ship, or any great affair of the fifth degree were employed to superintend the work. Okay, hold on. Affair. Let me read from here. To build a palace or a temple or an aqueduct or canal or a ship or any great affair, the kings and the king's people were obliged to employ faithists of the fifth degree. Oh, okay, so that the sentences were off. Okay. Were obliged to employ faithists of the fifth degree to superintend the work. Okay. Boom. So that's that. Let me put this here. Yes, babe. I do. Hold on.
I cut myself.
How you cut yourself? Okay, so this page 283. Okay, so that's interesting. We found a couple different things in here. For one, it's out of the order that Big Blue puts it, which is really, really interesting. And to go back here in the book of Sci-Fi, where you have this whole right under Anubis, right? I haven't seen anything like this in the John Lant plates, like what we see here on page 548, where this whole conversation, this initiation that's taking place. I didn't see anything yet like this in a John Lant plate. So clearly that's some stuff that was added, which is, it makes sense about the even the conversation about what's happening, about things have been added, the book of Sci-Fi, suspect, and all of that. That makes sense now, right? I could definitely see why they said suspect. But also here, the book, I mentioned it yesterday. Here, all through this, let me get it. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Hold that.
Yeah, Mom. You needed this too. You want to put it on top of that? How you want to eat? Look, bro. I only one hand. Oh, you can eat with that hand too. How do you do this?
Okay, so a brother in the group that I'm a part of, he posted something from Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry. There was a coded page in here, and I got to go back to see exactly which page that was, because that's what I got the book for, to look at the codes from the alphabet. But I got it, and when I started going through it, it's and this is what it looks like. I got it from Amazon, right? So if anybody who's familiar with any Freemasonry, any Freemason rites, or if you have any books, yeah, I'll let y'all know when I'm about to end it. You will notice, well, at least through this one, it'll have that same type of layout as Sci-Fi has here. And what page is that? Here in the Anubis chapter on page 548, and even through here, through some of the rest of the book of Sci-Fi, right, where it's people speaking, they give the initial of their first name, whoever's talking, and it just kind of goes back and forth through this whole conversation. That's pretty much the entire layout of this book. It's set up just like that. So they definitely have taken some things definitely have taken some things from the rites of Freemasonry and they've added in here, right? So just in case y'all didn't know, or if you were kind of didn't believe it, yeah, it's true. They did. They done screwed with it. And this is proof, and I got a couple other different ones, but you can see that they've definitely changed it and they've added some stuff. So, but our goal now is to remove all the fluff, the added stuff, and get the pure light that was channeled, that was inspired, so we can, we can continue growing and moving on. That's why they reprinted it again. I'm sure. Oh, he's still here. Wait, is Aaron still there? I'll call Jeremiah in a minute. But yeah, so that's really, really interesting. So we're not gonna get to the book of Apollo. I got these notes. In towards the back of the John Lant plates, it has notes from Oahspe, right? And the page that they start on is page 682 in the PDF for the John Lant plates that I emailed the people that asked for it. It starts on, scroll to page 682 to see those notes. And it starts on page 682 and it goes all the way to the end. And the last page is 686, right? And also within these, there's this handwritten letter. I can't make out all the words. I'm not sure if you guys know of some type of software that is able to remove the background and lift words. I can make out some of these. I haven't started tracing over the words that I could recognize yet, but it's like a 2-page letter written by John Newell, right? And I'm really interested in what this letter says. So if y'all know of any software that'll do that, or you know how to manipulate the settings with the computer to try and make the printing darker, I don't know how that's gonna work. But if you look at it, some of the words you'll be able to make out, and it's written in cursive. But it was added in here in the John Lant plates for a reason. I'm not sure if what was here has already been translated, or if they've been able to lift it out, see what it says, and it's in here. I don't know until we're able to do it, but I'm interested in doing that. If anybody know how to do that, or if you can work on it, be like, look, this is what it says, sis. Help a sister out. But that's in there, and it's just some more notes, which some of them I remember reading throughout Oahspe the first time. Matter of fact, I'll just read it. It's not that long. I'm gonna read these notes and then we'll hop over to the field guide to the spirit world. So in some of these, like I said, y'all be able to recognize. It's just they're scattered different places over Oahspe. Notes from Oahspe. In Zarathustra's time, the division of mortals on earth were the first race, the Ehings, original faithists, capable of prophecies and miracles, called the sacred people. They lived secluded from all other peoples, yet they were the seed of everlasting life on the earth. They were born in a world with Suis and Sargis and were foundation for raising up prophets and seers to other peoples. Being near Jehovah, they had faith in him and him only. Zarathustra's mother, Tucci, was an Ehin and Suis born herself, and was obsessed by an angel by the name of Samoan before she conceived, and during the time of maternity was not suffered to wake from her unconscious trance. I remember reading about that with his mama. I told you no, go put it back.
You can have it.
Well, thank you. And by the Lewis, her soul was off taken to high heaven to behold its glories, and then to return and inhabit her own body. Thus, the child Zarathustra was born of all light, and in that same day the obsession fled, and Tucci proclaimed within the city, Odas, the largest of which city, Soki, was king, capital of Parsi. Ehua Mazda sent certain Lewis, highly learned angels, to look around and tell him what they saw. They did so, and their answer was work, in parentheses, WORK. The second race, equally ancient, was the Drooks, the barbarian hordes, incapable of inspiration save for their stomach's sake, though told 1,000 times, behold, you have a spiritual body. Behold, there are two senses to all men, the S, and the corpore. When one is in abeyance, the other active. This is suis seership. Spencer said, page 330, verses 24 through 29. And like I said, the page numbers, it may not actually line up with the PDF. So you're going to have to kind of scroll through and decipher which page number is which to find this in here. Okay, don't fill it all the way up. Spencer said, page 390, verse 24 through 29, behold, the time is now come upon the earth when I will drive and allot unto each of its several great divisions, heavenly kingdoms accordingly. Okay, that's enough. Everybody's asking for ice cream. Ask Bella what Dad told her. If you think Dad might give you a different answer, you go ask Dad. I'm standing with Dad on this. Hold on. You don't need no straw. Stay out my stuff. Behold, the time is now come upon the earth when I will divide and allot unto each of its several great divisions, heavenly kingdoms accordingly. To Japan, Suasu, S-U apostrophe A apostrophe S-U. Japheth, Hi-Je-Si, H-I apostrophe J-E-E apostrophe T-S-E. Vidu, Vri-Mij, V-R-I apostrophe M-I-J. Arabinia, paradise. Helest, Spita. And after Spita, it put in parentheses, it has, because she was rescued from darkness by oaths. In time to meet this ark, I shall establish a heavenly kingdom, and it shall be called Spita. For Europa, Himmel, Himmel. Then it says, page 350, verse 14. And one time I send the angels of the is that dead or deed? It's dead. In one time I send the angels of the dead to lead man up to a knowledge of me and my places. But when a man hath attained to think for himself, I set up my ark of Spita. And I want to say, I forget exactly where this is, but I've read this before. They put this in here somewhere. Hold on. In one time I send the angels of the dead to lead man up to a knowledge of me and my places. But when a man hath attained to think for himself, I set up my ark of Spita, and it is as a candle in the firmament of heaven, wherefrom my light falleth upon the soul of my people, without any interpreter save my own voice. For which reason, when one of my worlds hath attained to Spita, I come to deliver them from kings and queens, priests and angels, and it is as the maturity of a son in his father's house, when he inviteth his neighbors and spreadeth a feast. What is the Osirian law? Page 353, verse 12. But it doesn't say anything. It just gives you, he just got that reference there. So we got to find out where that is inside of the John Lant plates. What is the Devian laws? And it looks like it's on the same page because it has the what you call them, the quote Jenks. Then it has trident, an instrument of the form of a fork with 3 prongs. Upon Thale, Spencer bequeathed the crown of earth and her heaven, also the triangle, symbol of these regions, and the Inca, Inqa, and the Inca and the trident, the latter being new in these worlds and symbolic of the Ark of Spita. And the interpretation of the trident is the 3 lights, Jehovah, his son, God, and the star in the mortal soul, emblem of resurrection. That's good. The 3 lights. It's interesting. That's interesting how this is written here. I was just thinking about the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? It says Jehovah, his son, God, but it's not like another God. His son is God, right? And the star in the mortal soul, which is us, right? just like Oahspe. Oahspe stands for, and I keep forgetting, sky, earth, and spirit, right? Creator, God who rules, and the spirit below. You get all these different levels of understanding. Did you ask that? Right. See, don't play me. And the interpretation of the trident is the three lights, Jehovah, his son God, and the star in the mortal soul, emblem of resurrection. Three births hath the Father given unto all men. Three kinds of earth deliverance for man created the Creator. First, and I remember reading this too. I just don't know where it's at. Three births have the Father given unto all men. Three kinds of earth deliverance for man created the Creator. First, from his mother's womb, coming crying, blank and helpless. Second, from the tetracts, earthly passions and desires, serious and full of fear. And third, from the enemies of the Great Spirit. This is the feast of Spita, right? So it's the first birth coming from your mother's womb, right? Then the second one would be, I guess, to wake up spiritually. And then I guess the third one would be from the enemies of the Great Spirit. This is the feast of Spita. That's where we no longer need the gods and the lords. And it says that we have like direct communication. Like at this level, at the third resurrection, there is no need for a middleman, right? We can directly talk with the Creator. Okay, in the first deliverance, and this is almost done. In the first deliverance, man hath nothing to do as to his shaping or time in his mother's womb. In the second, he hath a little more to do as to directing his course during his mortal life, overcoming earthly passions and desires. In the third, but for his deliverance, resurrection to the higher heavens, he must work for his own deliverance from the enemies of the Great Spirit. This is the feast of Spita. Then it has atmosphere, and after atmosphere, it looks like it's the definition for atmosphere, and it says Hades. Hades, H-A. This looks like a E with an S over top of it to me, which would spell Hades to me, H-A-D-E-S. So atmosphere, which is like the first level where all the spiritual shenanigans go on, like hotter hell. I would probably say that's what it is. Or this could say hotter. I think this says hotter, which is the same thing. This second A, like I said, it looked like an E with an S over top of it, but then when I look at it again, it just looks like a darker A and it's kind of blurred. But anyway, hotter, Hades, same thing. Their first resurrection, that's where all the shenanigans. That's what atmosphere is. Book of Spencer Armies, chapter 1, verse 20. That's what it's found at. Hold on, okay. I'm gonna just write that right here. Okay. I'm gonna look it up in a minute. All right, so and after atmosphere, Hada, it has three gods, Yima, Vishnu, and Oz, but there's like a space, but it's something there. It looked like a question mark, maybe. But question mark, name of God, Krayoshavi. See pages 6, 8, 9 of my typing for special points. And I don't think I have pages 6, 8, and 9 printed out here. So, but that's it for this today. I hope that wasn't too scattered, but I'm bringing all these points together, just making sure everything is lining up while we're going through, because I'm already familiar with the layout of Big Blue. So it's throwing things, it's messing up some stuff for me in my thinking, so I'm just like, okay, I got to see through a couple things, make sure I'm still tracking this appropriately. So I hope that helped a little bit while we're going back through. So like I said, I printed out the Book of Apollo, but we're not going to get to it today, right? And we already an hour and 19 minutes. So we're just going to pause on this, right? There's so much more in this I got to do. But we're going to pause on this right here. But I do want to read a couple pages, because I don't want to neglect this, because this is a part of our of our building and our learning and our spiritual growth, right? And I know some people are definitely here for this. So I don't want to neglect this. So go over to the Field Guide to the Spirit World. And we pause at the bottom of page 193. We're in I think this is chapter 8, the overshadowing. Yeah, this is chapter 8, the overshadowing. And so it's literally that, about spirits overshadowing different people, right? You get into different states where your aura or your vibration, you're vibrating low, and you kind of open up your spirit to lingering spirits to graft themselves upon you or to be fetal upon you, right? Okay, so I'm gonna read this at the bottom of page 193. I'm gonna read the quote again, and then we're gonna read a couple pages, and then we're gonna be out of here. It's Sunday. I hope y'all ain't gotta go to work today. And some of y'all may, because y'all may rest on other days. But either way, I'm gonna hurry up. Okay, page 193 at the bottom. An imaginary quote, an imaginary playmate can grow into an alternate personality, end quote. Richard Knoll, Bizarre Disease of the Mind. The Shoemaker, another deranged killer, quote, longed for a friend but never had one, end quote. Schreiber, 1984, page 278. He too took on imaginary playmates to fill the void of his lonely childhood. As this fantasy life spins out of control, the wish for imaginary friends becomes a standing invitation to wandering spirits, and the dubious spirit companion is welcomed with open arms. It is like Fred Archer said in his survey of possession, the most stubborn cases betray isolation. Quote, many persons subjected to obsession, especially those leading lonely lives, come almost to love their chains, end quote. Archer, 1967, page 103. Occupied now with this secret world, the antisocial personality begins to take shape. Criminal psychopathology, thanks to our fascination with murder and mayhem, is well documented. And here we find time and again the notorious loner, end quote. Elijah. He gonna get her. That's his daughter. Elijah, do me a favor. Call Jeremiah and see if he made it to the gym. Huh? Call Jeremiah, see if he made it to the gym. Okay. Yeah, he walked. Okay. Quote, the relationship of these murderers to other persons was shallow. They had been essentially lonely men, end quote. Manfred Gutmacher, The Mind of the Murderer. Isolation figures frequently in the backstories of heinous crimes. Chikatilo, Ted Bundy, Zodiac, Andrew Cunningham, Spree Killer, and Jerry Brudos were all creatures of solitude. One FBI statistic tells us that 71% of serial killers felt isolated in childhood. It almost makes you want to get up and do something about all the separateness and even, quote, individuality, end quote, we have built into our modern lifestyle. The homicidal lone wolf, in any case, is a stock character in our rogues gallery. Here is a quick survey, and it's giving us a list of different people. No, Jace, stop. Who is in there? Come out of there. Don't be playing in my pantry. Get out of there. I'm gonna skip your peanut butter to both of you.
Mom, it's my turn to get on my iPad.
Leave it. Okay, and here's the list of these different people and how they knew something was wrong with them. David Berkowitz, son of Sam, quote, I was always a loner, which led to my downfall, end quote. Klausler, 1981, page 101. George Treple, the Mensa murderer, quote, constant feelings of isolation. Eric Chapman, grand matricide, quote, was a very isolated young man, end quote. Markman and Bosco, 1989, page 303. Richmond Ramirez, quote, had no friends, end quote. Yeah, I see. Yep. Richard Ramirez, quote, had no friends. He was the consummate loner, never revealed his heart to anyone, end quote. Carlo, 1996, page 199 and page 324. Arthur Jackson, quote, was just a total loner, isolated from the rest of humanity, end quote. John Hinckley Jr., would-be assassin of President Reagan, quote, had no friends and few acquaintances, end quote. Kaplan, 1987, page 59. Leon Kozogos. It's probably I screwed it up. The man who assassinated President William McKinley, quote, was a quiet, solitary child. He never had a close friend, end quote. Donovan, 1962, page 73. Eric Napolitano, serial killer, quote, you could say he was a lonely kid, end quote, reported his mother, quote, but he always got a lot of toys, end quote. Pensiak, 1996, page 52. Arlene G., matricide, quote, as a child, I was very lonely, end quote. Markman and Bosco, 1989, page 320. Paul, Alaska's, quote, environmental savior, end quote, and mass shooter, quote, was always alone, end quote. Blinder, 1985, page 74. John Wayne Gacy, as a child, was, quote, a loner, sickly and weak, end quote. T. Cowhill, 1987, page 15. Peter Sutcliffe was a mama's boy, quote, he remained friendless, end quote. Neighbors would later comment, quote, he were a loner, you see. It's a he were. He were a loner, you see, always very remote, end quote. Byrne, 1985, 1727, and page 41. Bobby Joe Long, compulsive rapist and serial killer, quote, I was always alone as a kid. Morrison, 2004, page 149. Danny Starrett, proud for girls in his car. Quote, when I was alone in a car, Danny explained, when I was alone, period, I was vulnerable. As long as I was around other people, I was safe. Whenever I was alone, bad things were bound to happen. End quote. Nathan Smith, 1995, page 156 and page 160. The isolated soul is vulnerable. Then again, vulnerability may also arise out of a single devastating experience. A crisis, shock, surgery, or unconsciousness are all known to presage the first bout of serious overshadowing. Injury, grave illness, pure terror, and unconsciousness all represent the lowest possible state of human vitality in which the mind is utterly defenseless and unable to resist the intrusion of a strong spirit. I'm gonna read that again. So you got to be careful about some of these things, right? Fear will cause you to vibrate low, and it makes you susceptible to spirit intrusion, right? I know that was a big one for me. Listen. The isolated soul is vulnerable. Then again, vulnerability may also arise out of a single devastating experience. A crisis, shock, surgery, or unconsciousness are all known to presage the first bout of serious overshadowing. Injury, grave illness, pure terror, and unconsciousness all represent the lowest possible state of human vitality in which the mind is utterly defenseless and unable to resist the intrusion of a strong spirit. Patty Duke remembers her first manic episode occurring at 18 after she was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery on a ruptured appendix. Recovering back home, quote, I literally went crazy. I was hallucinating and raving and ranting and not sleeping and not eating, end quote. Duke and Hodgman, 1992, pages 7 through 8. The helplessness and sudden loss of composure, compos mentis, and self-command, present prime, hold on. Okay, let me read over. I said it wrong. The helplessness and sudden loss of composure, compos mentis, and self-command present prime opportunities for prowling spirits in search of a vacant home. Like Patty, the young woman named Annette suffered from a perforated appendix. It was then complicated by pulmonary embolism, collapsed lung, heart failure, and coma. And after coma, there's an asterisk. Yes. No.
No, I'm not talking about the iPad.
What? Tigba said, "Oh my God, in the car with a serious Luamong baby killer next to me. Him say I need to do my homework." What? I don't know how to take what you just said. Tigba, are you okay? I don't know how to take what you just said. Tigba said, "Oh my God, in the car with a serious Luamong baby killer next to me. Him say I need to do my homework." Like, Tigba, what are you trying to say? Are you okay? Let us know you okay. Because I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong. It's, are you okay? Just say, yes, I'm okay. I don't know if he was making a joke or what. I'm going to wait. Oh, a Christian in the car with her. Oh, okay. Where you going, Tigba? You on your way to church? God worshiping. Okay, thank you, Iman. Okay. Okay, you use the definition of Christian. I didn't catch it. I be a little slow sometimes. Okay, all right. Okay, forgive me, y'all. Okay, you okay? All right. Yeah, it wasn't clicking. Okay, all right. So up here at the end of this sentence, it has coma with an asterisk, right? Let me read the whole sentence over again. Then we'll read the asterisk at the bottom. Like Patty, the young woman named Annette suffered from a perforated appendix. It was then complicated by pulmonary embolism, collapsed lung, heart failure, and coma. And coma has the asterisk, and down at the bottom it says, the comatose state need not produce derangement. John Myers, the great medium, acquired second sight at age 5 after emerging from a coma, just as England's Dr. John Lilly met his guardians while in the comatose state. Whether we attract benevolent guardians or hell-bent obsessors will depend on our overall character and fortitude. Yo, that is so true what it says right here. Listen. Like how you carry yourself, your overall outlook at life. If your outlook is negative, that means you're vibrating low, like always. So that's why things go from bad to worse. I can't win for losing. Things, if that's your attitude, there's always a problem, there's always an issue. You are vibrating really low and you in danger of having some fetals attaching to you and grafting onto you, right? Listen to this. It says, whether we attract benevolent guardians or hell-bent obsessors will depend on our overall character and fortitude, right? So evil, demonic spirits, hell-bent obsessors, whatever you want to call them, those that radiate low, that flesh eaters, God worshipers, all of that stuff, they hear y'all too. Bella and Jace, stop it. They're able to leech on to people who's just always, oh man, I'm just glad I'm alive today. You know, people with that type of attitude. But if you're always upbeat, that's why I like to, me and my husband, we like to watch comedy shows. Now my whole house now, they all are the comedians in the making, right? We always like to keep upbeat, because when you're upbeat, even when things are going bad, if you look at it like, not that it's bad, but it's a lesson that can be learned, but like, okay, well, what lesson do I need to learn from this? If you look at it that way, you tend to attract things that are good to you always, right? And even if things are bad, you are able to work yourself out of that rut a whole lot faster by looking at the glass half full instead of looking at it half empty. Like, all I got is this much left. Like, well, sis, you got a whole half a glass. No, because it should be filled to the top, but you got a half a glass. You got more than what they got. Nope, this is not, when you got that type of attitude, you probably just want to stay away from people like that, because they bring your energy down and they are draining. And those are the people that have like vampire spirits attached to them. Y'all ever talk to somebody and after you get done talking to them, you like literally feel drained, like you got to go take a nap? I've talked to a few people like that, and it's literally like they're sucking the life blood out of you just by talking to them. And their constant negativity, it just brings you down. I'm like, listen, look, I gotta go. I'm not even gonna make up an excuse, but I just gotta go. I feel like I gotta go meditate or something. They literally bring your energy down. Though they have a vampire spirit attached to them. Like, seriously, what Oahspe talks about, they have a vampire spirit attached to them, and they suck life from them. And also anybody they come in contact with. And if you're not aware of it, you're gonna start losing blood in life, right? And they're gonna suck it all. Okay, go back up. Like Patty, the young woman. Nope. Did I finish? I didn't even finish this. Oh, yes, I did, because that's another one. Okay, go back up. Like Patty, the young woman named Annette suffered from a perforated appendix. It was then complicated by pulmonary embolism, collapsed lung, and heart failure and coma. Wait a minute, Bella. Resuscitated, she woke up a different person. Querulous, abusive, or querulous, 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 abusive, and contemptuous, and within hours developed acute suicidal depression. Dr. Goodham, who had been treating Annette, was floored. Quote, the effect was shattering. It was as though she had changed identity. She was in the depths as intense a depression as I had ever encountered. It was as if she had lost her psyche. I had never seen so vertiginous a plunge. In my view, this was a case of possession. And after possession, it has that next reference with the cross. And down at the bottom, it says, in the next chapter, under, quote, rapid cycling, end quote, we will have a better look at the nature of this vertiginous plunge into the possessed state. And we're going to pause after this, the rest of this paragraph right here. The abusive interlude which she displayed burst like a rocket to the astonishment of her nurses and doctors. This was one form of possession. The sudden plunge into sheer hell, deepest depression, was an example of a more malign invasion. She said, hey, chill, y'all. She said that something, certainly not herself, was speaking and acting for her, end quote. Goodham, 1982, pages 44 through 45. And that is where we're going to pause at today, because my background getting loud. I need to check on my man child. So I don't think Elijah got in touch with him. All right, y'all. So say a quick prayer. Some words of encouragement for my son Jeremiah. He not himself. But if I want to say it's probably a little girl. I told him leave alone. I ain't gonna say she ain't no good. She ain't no good for him, right? And I think she got her on one of them states, right? So I need to go find him, because he'll never leave without his car. All right. So with that being said, beautiful people, that is it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today. It is Sunday, December the 18th, 2022, day 291 of year 4 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets, another 4-year consecutive day count, day 1310. We read, we didn't get to the book of Apollo. We read the notes from the John Lant plates. And then we hopped over here. We read more than the notes. We read the notes, and we read what was that? This is the notes. The Anubis Old Egyptian Rites and Ceremonies Haunted Chamber, but it's found in, where did I write it at? In a Book of Wars. What page was that, y'all? I gotta go back up. I gotta find his note. I gotta find the Oahspe College University note. It was on page. Book of Wars. I'm thinking of the page number. Oh wait, 328. I think because Jamia put it. Let me just double check it. No, 320. No. Yeah, 320. I gotta keep these notes together. I'm gonna put it all in its order. Look, I got all these notes. I'm printing this out. John Lant plates out section by section, doing my little updates. But I'm gonna get another copy of this printed out from I'm gonna go to Office Max, and I'm gonna have them pull it up, and I'm gonna show it to them, and I'm gonna ask them if they can make the print darker, as dark as they can, without blurring the words. And then I'm gonna have them bind it in the order that it is. But this is the portion, all these pages and stuff that I'm doing. These gonna be my notes, but that's gonna be the portion to whereas when I get done with everything, we're gonna read it just like it say right here. A careful examination of the original manuscript by a patient and careful reader has proved the original to be uniform and without contradictory assertions from beginning to the end, right? I'm going to leave that, and that's going to be like we're going to leave it like that. But all of this stuff that I'm pre-printing out and doing the notes is going to help us understand this in the layout that it was originally before they started screwing with everything, right? So yeah, that's it. With that being said, Father, thank you for a group of friends that you can study with. Thank y'all. I really enjoy y'all coming here, helping a sister out, us helping one another. We need one another, bringing all our pieces together, right? Look, and if y'all go through this, whatever y'all getting, I mean, don't just wait for me. Like, do y'all, and I know y'all are looking through some of the stuff, but whatever you find, look, share with us in the morning, all this stuff. Help us. We can move like a whole lot faster than create a game. Gonna republish. No, I'm just joking, but for real, that Selah brought up a good point. It probably does need to be republished. I don't know, but hey, that's that'll be all. I don't know. Thank you, Kendrick. Yes, hope everyone's day is full of light in the Creator. Love you all. Keep striving upward, family. Yes, we all want Jeremiah to be all right. All right, I'm about to go check on my man child. I love y'all. I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hold on. I told Bella I was going to let her in it. Bella! Come on, I'm about to end it. Yep. Let me move my notes before they start clamming up here and rip my papers up. Hold on. I'm like that nerdy student coming from science lab. Don't touch my papers. Stop it. Stop. Don't. Wait. Don't climb up here. Hold up. You want Fat Ma here? Okay, hold up. Let me move my stuff out the way.
For us?
Yeah, for y'all get up here and start doing all this.
Well, you can hold Fat Ma.
All right. Y'all can hop up here. Okay. All right. You want to get up here, little girl? Okay. Okay, go ahead. You won't be able to press it. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, and all right, y'all. I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. You see?